cardiologist in York, and today I wanted to talk to you about AF, atrial fibrillation, and particularly the importance of lifestyle management in atrial fibrillation. In particular, I wanted to talk to you about a study that was done, which was really remarkable, which dealt with the issue of weight loss and how weight loss can be very beneficial in people with atrial fibrillation. So this study was published in the Journal of American College of Cardiology. It was published in May 2015. The lead author is Pathak, P-A-T-H-A-K, and it was known as the Legacy Study. Okay, and basically the study was called the long-term effects of goal-directed weight management in a cohort of patients with atrial fibrillation. And so basically what these guys did is that they took 355 patients with atrial fibrillation, symptomatic atrial fibrillation, and they put them through a weight management program. And these people had a BMI of more than 27, so body mass index of greater than 27, were put into a weight loss program, and then they compared the outcomes in terms of atrial fibrillation in those people who had lost more than 10% of their body weight through the weight management program, and then they compared them to two other groups, those who had lost less than 3% of their weight and those who'd lost between 3 and 9%. So three groups: people who'd lost less than 3%, people who'd lost between 3 to 9%, and people who'd lost more than 10%. And what they wanted to know was a variety of different things. A, how did these people feel? B, did they get less atrial fibrillation as a consequence of weight loss? And the results were very interesting in that they found lots of really interesting things. The first thing is that those people who lost more than 10% of body weight did best of all, compared to the people who lost less than 3% or 3 to 9%. First thing, these people found that their blood pressure dropped. So the average drop in blood pressure in those people who'd lost more than 10% of body weight was 18 millimeters of mercury, systolic blood pressure, okay, compared to only about 7 millimeters of mercury in those people who'd lost less than 3%. Their blood sugars improved, so their glycemic control improved when they lost weight, and particularly the people who'd lost the most weight. Their inflammatory markers got less, so high sensitivity CRP is a blood test that you can do to check the levels of inflammation in the body, and that got significantly less as people lost weight. What is really interesting is no doubt that these people certainly had a six-fold increased chance of not having atrial fibrillation in subsequent during the time of their follow-up in the study. So the people who'd lost the most weight were 6 times more likely not to have a recurrence of their atrial fibrillation. What is also really interesting is their quality of life improved. It was also really interesting that actually when you studied their heart, these people, people who have atrial fibrillation can have big atria, and often it is thought that the big atria makes the atrial fibrillation less likely to treat. But with weight loss, the atria size started getting less, and left ventricular hypertrophy, which means the muscularity of the walls of the heart gets less, because the heart has to work less hard if you lose the weight. So this was an incredible study because it showed that actually weight loss can achieve so much. It can improve quality of life, it can reduce AF, it reduces blood pressure, it reduces inflammation, it reduces blood sugar, it improves blood sugar control, it reduces left atrial dimensions, which is a good thing. It reduces increased muscularity of the heart, which suggests the heart has to work less hard. So incredibly powerful data. And again, to those of us who suffer from atrial fibrillation, who carry extra weight, I think one of the best things you can do is to try and lose the weight. And that should be done through a combination of diet, good sleep, stress management, and exercise. But if you can, the truth is that the AF will get better, but our overall quality of life gets better and our overall health gets better. So I hope you found this useful. Please consider visiting my website, which is www www.drsanjayguptacardiologist.com. I now have a WhatsApp broadcast list, and I'm putting out sort of new videos on WhatsApp as well, and those are kind of they're only on WhatsApp. So if you wanted me to add you to the WhatsApp broadcast list, please let me know. Send me an email on yourcardiology@gmail.com. I'd love to know what you think about it. Has your atrial fibrillation responded to weight loss? And I would love to hear your comments. And I'm, as always, incredibly grateful for all the kindness that you show me. Thank you so much, and have a great night. I'm currently in London. I've actually come to attend a press conference about the role of acupuncture in atrial fibrillation.